Okay, this is again a skull type working. This video is for two females, and they have been bonded together in marriage, but there's been divorce proceedings. So basically, the client wants to stop that and reunite with her wife and get a better relationship the second time around. And there's no harm in that. So I have a little sugar jar. I've put some bits and pieces in there. This is a petition to the Holy Death. I like to call on the Holy Death for things like this, because the Holy Death, basically with regards to marriages and things, she likes people to stay together and things like that. So it's good to call in the Holy Death for that. If you've never worked with the Santa Morte, the Santissima Morte, my advice to you is don't. Build up a relationship with her first before you start, doing spell work and stuff. For me, it was a year, it was years before I actually decided to work with her. And when I did ask her for something, it was on down the line and stuff. And I had to get signs from her that that she was willing to work with me, etc. You know the story. So I've got their photographs. There was a picture I could have used and pulled it inwards of the two of them together, but I thought I would put them face to face because they need to be looking at each other. So I have put forgiveness oil on the pictures, increased attraction, control on the targets. So yeah, Santa Morte oil, communication oil, I've said that. Some rose oil, love oil, that sort of thing, and that's been put on the two little photographs, and they're looking at each other. And I've got the petition here. I'm just going to put that at the back, and I'm going to fold this forward 3 times, like so, and then we're going to turn it and bring it in 3 times as well. Okay, now I'm going to locate the yarn that disappears all the time. Got it. I can never find the end to this. Nightmare. So I'm going to bind towards me whilst making statements of intent. So I know what the lady wants, so I'm going to just say this into myself. It'll be along the lines of there will be more communication, they'll be together again, true happiness. There's a lot more I'm going to say, because obviously it's a private to the client, but just say whatever you want. It's basically your petition, so make your petition known whilst you're binding. I always say that they will be together emotionally, physically, and spiritually at one together, kind of thing. Now, 1, 2, 3 knots. 3. So I've got brown sugar, rose petals, some bits and pieces. Use whatever you've got, basically. I've got a little bit of rose water as well in there, so I'm going to be popping that in there. That would be to draw someone back. That may be enough, but what I'm going to do is pop this head in there for an added boost. This little skull is basically the target, so that's been baptized. So I basically say that you are now a representation of whatever. Say the name. You will do as I say, and you are now alive. And then I blow energy into the little doll's head. You can use skull candles. I actually have a preference for the doll's heads, and I cut them open at the back where the body part is. I slice them open there, and that is the photograph, and also a little bit of information about what I want from the target, what I want the target to do, etc. A little bit of, there's some commands basically on a piece of paper. And then the name of the person is written across the forehead. So it'll be the partner's wife is put on the forehead to make sure that, she's thinking about her nonstop. So that will go there. I'm just going to put a few little bits and pieces. Also, a few little love herbs and bits and pieces. Some sugar to sweeten her up. Oh, I forgot to do something. This, I was to put a little padlock on that. I can still do that. I've got one sitting here. I can put a little padlock just to bind them even tighter. I do this sometimes. It just depends. I always get a feel for what to do for certain clients. So there we go. These tiny little padlocks are really good. You can use a bigger one, but I like to put the key as well. I'll put that in there. So anyway, I put some, like a little love mix in there, and I put get some attraction going with some ginger and cinnamon. A bit awkward, but it's okay. Okay, now what I do is I normally just seal that over with a little bit of red wax. Possible to seal it because there's such a large gaping hole, but if you can, seal it, as much of it as possible. Okay. I should have used a bigger jar, but it's okay. It'll be okay. I'll put the head in first, actually, so it's sort of sealed like that. And each night I will be talking to this little jar, making some statements of intent, bits and pieces of what we want to happen. Okay, so I'm going to put some more on top of the head. Lost herbs, some precipitation powder. Again, you can't put a time on spell work, so I add the precipitation powder in there anyway. But at the end of the day, you can't rush a spell. Whether it's effective or not, I don't really know. I haven't actually taken the time to, sit down with that powder and figure it out, but it's not doing it any harm, so I might as well use it. A little bit of church dirt, if I can find it. Again, go with whatever you have. And if you, like I said before, work with whatever deity or goddess, god, or whatever you work with. Don't, just because the Holy Death is used here, don't feel you have to use or call in the Holy Death. Like I said before, she's really for people that have worked with her, have a basis, a ground. Oh, I'm talking backwards. People that have, you know what I mean, a working knowledge of what to do and how to call her and all the rest. Anyway, this is some protection for their relationship. Protection powder and some, again, protection wall of fire. Okay, so we've got that. I could put in a bit of, honey and stuff, but I'm going to leave that and top that off with some rose petals. And every night a red taper candle. I will put a red taper candle on top of this when I'm done, and I will burn a little notch of it each night. And every night I'll sit with this, and I will be giving orders to the target. So the head's in there, so I'll be giving orders to the target, holding the jar. I'm going to blow into it. always blow into it to bring life into it, but I don't, like I said before, I only shake these jars once to get things, moved around, but I don't constantly shake the jars. So when I'm working this jar, I will hold it in my hands. If there's a candle lit, I can't really do that. So what I do is I light the candle for 5-10 minutes, snuff it out, and then I will hold the little jar in my hands. And for head work, especially when it's a doll's head, I will hold it in my hands, and I will basically say, you will return to, Jane Doe. You only think of Jane Doe. You want a better life with Jane Doe. Jane Doe is all you think about. In your dreams, all you see is Jane Doe. You will not find contentment until you contact and get back together with Jane Doe. Those are the kind of things we want to unsettle the person. It's the only way to do this is to actually unsettle the person slightly. For them to just have that yearning to come back. It's something that takes time as well. So please bear that in mind. I get these messages. I will be a video on this, but there's messages that I'm getting about, is your work guaranteed? Please, people, let's use common sense. Guaranteed, and I don't even think they mean a financial guarantee. No, there's not a financial guarantee. I'll just answer that up front, because I'm using tools at my end. You may only see a jar and stuff here, but at the end of the day, I'm using special candles. There's oils, there's all that, and also my time away from my family, which is precious. But I cannot guarantee anything. If I was to be able to guarantee every single spell I put out there, I'd be up there with Jesus as an ascended master. I would be one of the great ones. So it's just to let you know that, and if anyone says I guarantee results in 72 hours or whatever, run for the hills. They are going to take your money, and you will not hear from them again. You will not even get an email from them again. So, I might take a bit of time to get back to you with regards to emails and stuff, but your work will be done 100%. I guarantee your work will be done, but the results is something that, let's use common sense. There's a lot of things that can get in the way of results. It's obviously a good idea to keep a very positive mind frame. As you know, a positive mind, you'll draw positive, situations in life. I also like clients to meditate. For this client in particular, I would like you to take a few minutes each night. Light yourself a candle if you want. You don't have to, but take a few minutes each night and sit and meditate on what you want to happen. See in your mind the two of you back together again, enjoying life. The ideal goal is something you need to see. Use all your senses, whatever it is. See the two of you. I always say, I pulled this out of my bum, but I always say a holiday, walk down the beach together. I'm going to use this as an example, but go with whatever it is you're drawn to. Well, let's say, for instance, walking down the beach together. You're both holding hands. Feel the air. Feel her hand in your hand. Things like that. It feels great. You feel a happiness like butterflies in your stomach. Experience that. Do your best to get your mind focused like that. And if you start feeling really negative and really, really down, replace those thoughts with the positive ones of you walking down the beach, or you, whatever it is. The mind plays a big part in how things manifest at times as well. So just please keep that in mind. So that will go to my Madrina's altar, and it will sit there for a wee while, and then I'll get it deployed at the tree. So I did look at a couple of cards for you. Let me see. So we've got where did those cards come from? We've got communication. There's going to be communication. I also think there's going to be a work opportunity. This is big, the work opportunity, so watch out for that. Also, the money card beside the sun again, that is telling me the work opportunity. is something's going to be very, very helpful. And keep an eye out for that work opportunity, because it's going to lead to better places. And it will be through some man. I think there'll be a man involved. So that man will, offer something to you. So don't snub it. Have a good think about it, because it's a good chance you have. And the money card is there, so don't ignore that and look out for that. And then it just refers to you and her, the key. So I think the solution is, you find a solution. So it's just a matter of getting things the way you want them. I think you need to just bear in mind that it'll take a bit of time. It's just one of those things. Give her some space and time, and let things happen from there. Don't cause any arguments. I'm not saying you will, but don't cause any arguments or any issues like that. Just try your best, to be open and there, and we'll see how things go. First card out is indecision. I think it's to do with her signals towards you. I think that's made you all tied up. This is where the problems start. Don't tie yourself up in knots, especially when you're having spell work done. That tying yourself up in knots can actually, I've tried to explain this, I think, a few times on the channel. When you stress a lot, it can actually cross you up. It can create negative circumstances and walls, like walls around you. And it's best to actually, as bad as things may be, it's best to, look on the brighter side of things, because you don't want to be crossed up. Broken heart. But things are going to change, because you are going to find some balance. So please, please, please take it easy on yourself. Please try and slow down a little bit. Your energy is very fast moving. And I think you need to cull that, and I think you need to slow down a bit. I think your partner, that's what frightened your partner a little bit, was the fast movement of things. But you can have that back again. All you need to do is just slow things down a bit. There we go. There's the contract. There is going to be some sort of an opportunity for you, I think. So that would point towards some sort of, like I said, work. It could be a court issue, but I don't think so. Not with it coming up in the other cards. So, and then we've got, actually, that card was the thinking woman. So she will do a lot of thinking, and she needs to do some soul searching, and then things will. I'm hoping things will turn around quickly. And then you've got happy family and victory. And I know the happy family is something you really, really want. So the victory as well. It's telling me it's all within reach. It's all within reach. I've said before, and I'll say it again. I keep saying this. You want to go back into a relationship that's better. You don't want to go back into a relationship and make the same mistakes again. So it's important to know that, to change yourself, and and for her as well. So going back into a relationship, let's not make the same mistakes again. Let's be a lot calmer. Let's be a lot more open. And when you're like that, she will give you back as well. So it's just to let you know that, again, it's all about balance. So I hope this is resonating and making sense to you. So I know this video is a bit of a repeat and stuff, but I just thought I'd go into a little bit more detail. I will go into more details with how to baptize those little doll heads and stuff. But I find the doll heads, I really like them, and I've worked with them since I was a teenager. I really like to use those, because back then there was no skull candles and things in my neck of the woods anyway. So I just chopped the head of my Barbie dolls, and I use them for, many different types of workings. So, all those poor Barbies got decapitated. But I just find it's just something, I just, I don't know, I just resonate with it more. Obviously, people resonate with candles more, but for me, it's those little doll heads. I like to see the features, and, I like to push something into the head. But obviously, you can do that with the skull candle, but the skull candle burns out, and then you just have to start another one. Whereas those little doll heads, they stay intact, and that's another reason why I like them. Anyway, I'm going to jump off. House of Magic, thehouseofmagick at gmail.com. If you have any inquiries, leave whatever you need to say in the down section, whatever it's called, a comment section. That's it, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for every single person that has subscribed. Thank you. And anyway, like, share, subscribe if you want. You don't have to. I have to say that. Someone keeps telling me off in the comments section that I don't say that, and my videos don't get circulated. But anyway, I'm starting to really warble. It's time to go. Have a great evening.